Hi, welcome everyone. So in this video, I'll be going to tell you two relationships that we have in Salesforce, which one of them is called the master data relationship and the second is called as the lookup relationship. We have the junction object as well, but that we would be covering in the another video. Okay, so I'll be focusing on mainly on the master detail and the lookup relationship. And you must have heard a lot of time that these about these two relationships, right? This particular session, I will be creating one master detail relationship and I will be creating one lookup relationship. Okay, so for this, first of all, we have to understand like what is master detail. Okay, master detail is nothing but when we say that is a parent object and for that we would have a child record. So that is called a master detail relationship. So as an example, just consider that. So let's say for an employer, we would say that this employer would have certain number of, or employer means a company. Company would have a certain set of branches, right? So branches are nothing but there. It's called the master detail relationship because if we are saying that this is a company, right, and then this company has one location, let's say in Delhi, one is in Gurgaon, one another is in Calcutta, right? So let's say these are the three we have, right? So what we call it is a master data relationship because definitely this company will operate at three different locations. So this is master data relationship. And another example of lookup is like we can say that this company, let's say, has 500 employees, right? So 500 employees, but these employees are not tightly bounded to the company. They can leave the organization at any point of time, right? So we can say this is loosely coupled relationship, and then we call it as a lookup relationship, right? So because employer can obviously anytime can leave the company and they can be associated with any other firm or company, right? So this is called as a lookup relationship. So company and its branches, we call it as a master detail. Company with its employees, it's called a lookup relationship. Okay, so let's set up this right now. Okay, so we will create one object which we call it as a employer. Okay, we can call it as employers. We'll get away at a plural name. Let's say it's employers, right? Employer name. Now we can call it as company name. This is this is the name field which we'll have. And again, like when we create a custom object, which have options to allow the reports, activities, track field history. All this we can enable, right? Once this is done, also we have an option of add notes and attachments or launch new custom tab. So we can add this as well. And if you want to create a custom tab also, then we can select this also and then we click on the save button. Once we click on the save button, right, so this is employer, we will be asked to choose the tab style. We can choose any one of them, and once we are done we can click on the next button. Okay, so it will ask me the apply one tab visibility, apply different, so basically to whom which I want to show this the profile. So I will say apply different tab visibility, right, and I will be saying the default on for every profile and I click on next. Okay, and now to which particular app I want to show this. I don't want to show this to any of the apps for now, and I will click on the save button. Okay, so I'm done, and this object is created which is called as an employer, right? Now let's say we would have this is employer. Now we would have to create another object called as branches, right? So I'll be creating a new object now. Branches, or we call it as a location. Okay, so we have created one object called as location. Okay, so once we have created the location object, what we will be doing is we will be associating this relationship of this branch or location object with the parent object. Parent object is nothing but the employer object. So we will be creating one master detail relationship. Okay, so we have to click on new custom field and we'll be clicking on the master detail relationship and we will be clicking on the next button. Once you click on the next button, it will ask me which object you have to create the master detail. We will be selecting employer and we'll be clicking on the next button. Once we click on this next button, we can call it as a employer only, right? And we can click on the next button. Once we do this, it will ask me establish FLS field level security. We can keep it as default for now. It will ask me if we want to expose this field on the page layout again. Next, then it will ask me that if you want to what you want to give the name to the related list. Basically, if you have to change, we can give some other name also to the related list, but for now it is locations. And we click on the save button. Okay, so once we click on the save button, if you see here, employer we have created, right? Employer, this field. Now this field is the master detail with employer. Now this employer will have multiple locations, right? And these locations will always be tightly bounded to the employer or the company, right? So that is why we call it as a master detail relationship. Just to make you understand more clearly, I will be going to the location object, right? And or first of all, let's create an employer. Okay, so right now we don't have any employer in the our org, so we will be creating a new button. And we let's say we give this employer name as XYZ. Let's say this is the name of the company, right? Now for this company XYZ, this is the parent, right? And now we will be creating a child record. Child record is nothing but location. So this is master, employer is master, location is the detailed record. I'll be clicking on the new location and employer. See, if you can see, this employer is automatically selected as XYZ and we can select location as Delhi, right? And we can click on the save button, right? So now for XYZ employer, we have the location code as Delhi. Now we can create multiple records like that, right? We can go back to the employer and again we can create, let's say, a second location. We can say it is Mumbai, right? Now we have the second location also. We can go back and we can create multiple locations, right? We can create Hyderabad. Okay, so let's say for these we have three locations for now. Okay, so this is parent, this is master object, and this is the detailed record. So this is how we call it as a master detail relationship, right? And now what is lookup? So what we'll be doing is we'll be creating one more object. I'll be going to the object, I'll be clicking on the new object, and I will be selecting the name of the object is employee. Okay, employee, and the plural will be employees. Employee name, and select any one of them. Okay, so I have selected this is another object I have created, which is employee. Now one employer, which we call it as a XYZ, which we have created. Now this employer can have multiple employees, right? So this is the employees for nothing. We can call it as a lookup to the employer, right? So we will create one lookup relationship here. We'll be clicking on the new field and we'll be selecting the lookup relationship. We'll click on the next button. Okay, and now this is a lookup with your employer. You can call it as an employer name. Okay, so we can just click on the next. We can expose this field on the page layout also. The relationship name is implies. Okay, we can disable it. Now if we have created one, this field is called employer name. So on the employee object, we will have the employer name also, right? I think just a minor update. This is nothing but the employee name. We'll update it as a employee name. Okay, so now we'll be creating one more record. Okay, we can go to the employee and we can create one employee here. We can say employee name is let's say John. We can say John, and employer name is nothing but XYZ. Okay, so this user, or we can say the person with the name John, is associated with the company XYZ. Click and click on the save button, right? And similar way, we can create multiple records like this. We can create again, like if one company can have many person, like many employees. So we can say the second person is Prince. Okay, the second is Prince. Similarly, we can create multiple employees. Okay, so now just to give you the best of way, basically we have created one lookup relationship in this format. So now if we go to the, again, just to give you the complete background again, going back. So this is the master object, right? This is employer is nothing but the master object. Now this master object will have tightly coupled relationship with their locations. So Delhi, Mumbai, Hyderabad. So these are nothing but the master detailed relationship. So this is master and Delhi, Mumbai, Hyderabad. These are detailed records, right? And this employer can have multiple employees. Let's say for now it's John, Prince. Again, these employees can anyway change their organization at any point of time. So this relationship is loosely coupled with their parent record, and this there how we call it as a lookup relationship. Okay, so I hope you have got the complete understanding by now what is the master detail object and what is the lookup relationship in Salesforce. Hope you have liked this session, and see you in the next video. And please don't forget to like this video and subscribe my channel. Thank you. Thanks everyone for watching this video. See you again. Thank you.